Hey, it's cold
This
in
fish
here.
right here. Okay, so first of all, welcome back to another episode. Today I have Guy Strong Eilenberger with me. It's kind of a tradition. This is only going to be the second time I've done this. But, so I have a name plaque here that says Dan Juris McNulty, nice. Take 3 Video Productions. So I always feel like my guest needs to have some kind of a name plaque too.
All right.
So I made
nice.
this for you, and this is for you to take with you.
Did I say savage?
Yeah.
Nice. This is crazy.
You can take this with you.
Oh man, this is
as a
going on my
memento, so you
desk.
can remember that.
I dig that.
So
That's nice.
just put it up there, just so the fine people can see. I spelled that right.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No matter how many times I spell your last name, it's always
Yeah, me too.
yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, so 2 options for you. Do you want to start a cigar now, or I have a surprise? So, would you rather have the surprise and then smoke the cigar, or smoke the cigar and...
Let's go with the cigar first.
Okay.
Too many surprises here. Dang, you've always been the cigar guy.
Okay, hold on, though. I got to tell you the story. Do you recognize this?
No. You know my memory is horrible.
This was a Cuban that Tony smoked.
Oh, man. And that's not the surprise?
That's not the surprise.
Damn, this is crazy.
You gave that to me.
Oh, man, yes. Yep. This is all coming back. This is insane.
I am not one for relighting cigars.
Yeah.
I think it's terrible, the taste and everything.
Right.
But I kind of want to light that.
This is blowing my mind right now. This is really crazy, man. Yeah, we have to light it. This is really crazy. This is honestly geeking me out. This is crazy. It's nothing like a good cigar in golf.
Oh. I think I got out of it for a while because it turned into more of a buying addiction than a tobacco addiction.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was just all the time. I was buying
I get like
too
that.
much.
You get kind of OCD with it.
Yeah.
Like I do that with golf clubs.
Oh,
I don't
another thing.
Yeah, I don't like buying expensive golf clubs, but I really like getting vintage golf clubs. So I'll find clubs that I already have and try to justify it. Like, I don't know, with the bounce. Did you get real into it? Like, you know about the bounce of clubs and the... Yeah.
And now I'm just, I don't know. Mine have been sitting in my garage for, I don't even know how long.
What kind do you have?
Nike.
We could spend this whole thing. Really?
Nike
Really?
Slingshot.
Okay.
4D maybe?
Yeah.
I liked the cavity back.
Okay.
Because I just never got to the point where I could swing a blade.
Yeah.
You speak this language.
I'm into it. See, I thought that I liked blades because I like the look of it.
Right.
But I'm not.
They're not as forgiving.
Right, they're not. And I'm not experienced. I mean, my handicap's like I was just able, the end of this season.
Do you want to start this?
Being able to. Go ahead. I'll let you do it. Yeah, I want you to do it.
You can keep going.
Man, this is I can't believe there's another surprise. This is the surprise.
I feel like the other surprise might not be as great.
I don't know.
After.
I mean, this is going to be hard to beat. But, no, I just was able to start breaking 100, which is not, there's people out there. Like, my uncle is probably the best golfer that I'll ever have the chance to golf with. He is, we went to Park Hills, and he had 75, and he was kind of, like, discouraged that he had got 75. And if I was to ever get 75, I would probably retire.
So, sorry, that's a little moist.
That's
I'm
crazy,
a moist smoker.
That's crazy.
I think one of the main reasons why I got out of golf or kind of stopped playing was because I think I put so much time and effort and money into it, and I was constantly seeing improvement. But then I got to the point where one day, did you ever play King Valley?
Mm-hmm.
The front nine is like down in the woods and stuff. I got a 50 there, but the back nine, it was like real open. It was a real young course. Yeah. I shot a 39.
Wow.
And it was just like an amazing feeling. Isaac was there with me. He saw the whole thing. I saved the ball. But then after that, I never shot close to that again.
Yeah.
And it just got to a point where I just thought it was more anxiety and frustration, and I thought I need to.
Right. That's the thing about golf. Not just day to day. Like, you'll go one day, and then the next day you'll play completely different. Mm-hmm. But was that at the beginning of you golfing when you were?
No, that was probably, I would say, 3 or 4 years in.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. With me, it's frustrating because I'll play really good at the beginning of my career. Like, I'll went to a course and shot really well, and then I'll go back there. I mean, I've only been playing for 2 years, but I'll go back there 6 months later and expect to be, playing really, really well and not. But that's the thing with golf. It teaches you patience. It teaches you, and swing to swing, it teaches you patience. And the thing about golf, I heard somebody say, I want to say it was like Arnold Palmer, one of the greats, said, no, it was actually, excuse me. Yeah, I forget his name. But, that's going to bug me. I can't think of his name. He said golf is the only game that you can put 70% effort into and play the best. Like, you only put a little bit of effort into the game, because the more you overthink things, the more you try to, the worse you'll play. And I think, honestly, like I said, not to be too cliche, but golf teaches you things like that. It teaches you how to be patient and just not take things too serious.
I think it reveals a lot about you. It pulls things out of you that you didn't realize. I don't know. And it can be satisfying.
Yeah, it really can. It really can, because I like to go early in the morning, and if I play good, it changes the shape of my day. I'll tell you what, for this being that old, this cigar really held, man. That's insane. Are there some Jordan 8s sitting over there?
Yes.
What?
Those are knockoffs from, like, Korea or something.
Really?
Yeah, they are so fake.
Those are probably the best ones. So who made this?
This guy I actually met him through Case's Facebook page, Anthony Menzia. But, yeah, I've been connecting with him, and it's nice to connect with other artists and, like, really talk on that level. I feel like even that's one of the reasons. Another reason I wanted to start the podcast, because I just feel like I have so many different connections in different ways with different people, and I just want to capture and remember that.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I think. A lot of people think that podcasts have to be. They have to follow a guideline, or they have to be. They don't have to be. It's just conversations with your friends.
ADHDan.
There you go. That's actually case in point. Mm-hmm. Case in point. I cannot believe the way this held. Are you calling someone? That's why you said don't look at it.
Oh. Hello?
Oh. Tell me when I can laugh.
Okay, so I'm
Who's there with you?
Well, I mean, I'm sitting here with Guy. Sorry, is my screen locked? Yeah, it is.
There it is. Okay.
And I wanted to try to do a screen recording too.
I don't recognize the voice.
I've never tried a screen recording while doing this,
tell me when I can look.
So do you have any guesses? So So this I almost said your name.
I need to hear the voice a little more.
Hello, Guy Eilenberger. You goofy jerk. I don't know if we're allowed to swear on this or not, so I'm not going to.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, shit. Let's see. We've known each other for a long freaking time. Our parents knew each other before we did.
What?
I remember Danielle was your foreign exchange student. Good old Titas.
Oh my God, who is this? This is geeking me out.
Let's see. He rode down a hill by my house and smashed into a tree the first time he ever snowboarded.
Jesse James. What's up, man? What's going on, bro?
How are you, bro?
Good, man. Where you at?
Thank you.
Here, you can move in here.
Where you at? Where you living, man?
Reno, Nevada.
No kidding. What you doing out there?
Oh, loving the sun.
There you
loving
go.
the not gray skies of good old Pennsylvania.
Al Gluma.
Yeah, right? But nah, dude, it's good, man. I came out here, 2008, moved back to Pennsylvania for a little bit, and then came back here in 2015. We just moved in my new house, like, less than a month ago. So,
Nice. You married?
yeah, dude. I got a wife and a little goofball that's going to be 5 in April.
Nice.
Living
Boy or
in
girl?
here. It's a little girl.
Nice.
Vivian, ven aquí, ahora.
You still in the medical field?
Yeah, sort of. So I was a nurse, as you know, for about 15 years. Jesus, it's too long we haven't talked. That
Yeah, right.
I was a nurse for longer than the last time we talked.
Yeah,
Jeez.
right.
But yeah, no. Now I work in the industry. Like, my job title is clinical consultant.
Okay.
So, but I work for a medical device company that teaches doctors and nurses how to do stuff.
Okay. That's cool, man.
It's fun, man.
So do you come back a lot? Do you ever come back?
Dude, it's been a year since I've been back, but I try to make it at least, once, maybe twice a year. Just come back, visit.
Definitely have to get a hold of us when you do. You guys
Absolutely.
still talk a lot?
No, actually, today was the first time because I thought, what would be something like to kind of throw in that's like a little bit exciting, and I was like,
sure.
I know we're going to be talking about, long time ago, and all that reminiscing. And then
That's
Jesse
awesome.
was honestly the first person that popped into my head. I was
That's
like,
great.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Thanks for calling, Dan. What you been up to other than this? I mean, this is cool.
So I have a video production company, do that full time, commercial wedding work. I love it. I tried for years to climb corporate ladders, different places, and the higher I got, the less I enjoyed life. So video was something that I always messed around with in high school, but I never had anyone that was like, hey, you could do this as a career, So now after, I think it was like around 4 years ago, maybe 5, I left my full-time job and just started this. But
Dude, that's sweet.
love it.
Stuff like this, it gets you thinking you talk about back in the day, and it gets you thinking about people you haven't talked to in a long time.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
crazy. Thank you again so much for reaching out. As soon as I saw that message this morning, I was like, holy God, that's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Catch up. Like, I remember Dan trying to teach me how to skateboard, and
I remember that.
still never could. So, we'll bring it way back here, guy. Remember the time we were playing with a BB gun and that
Oh, man.
Tony had a BB in his knee or his leg for a while?
Nate Futrell. It was his hand.
It was his hand?
He stuck his
leg.
hand out, and he was, I don't know who else is going to see this, but he had his hand out, and he was giving Nate Futrell the middle finger. And Nate Futrell shot him, and it hit him right in his hand. And then we didn't really think anything of it. And like a month later, I don't know if you remember in his room or not, there was an outlet that didn't have a cover on it. And he would flip the outlet switch on, and he would say, oh, it keeps shocking me. And I would go over and hit it, and nothing. Well, come to find out that BB was lodged in there for like a month, and he had to go under. He had to have surgery and everything to get it out.
Remember the ketchup massacre at Mercer's house?
Oh, man. Oh. Sorry about that.
Dan, I don't know if you ever heard
I
that
was
story.
just thinking about that for some reason the other day. That was wild. Do you remember the Y2K party?
Oh, God.
That was crazy.
Was that like, did you guys do blacklight? I think I was there like the day after that.
Really, you weren't there for it?
No.
In Mercer's attic, right?
Yeah.
I went to the summit that night with the school
For the lock-in.
and I don't even remember.
For like those lock-ins that they had.
Yeah.
One of us snuck down. I think it was Tony and I snuck down. Because remember, it was Y2K, so everybody thought the world was finna end. And Tony and I snuck down at 12 o'clock and hit the breaker. And we heard everybody upstairs freaking out.
Oh, man.
Those are good times, man.
Yeah. Okay. So Jesse, as far as like Eric's house, pure adrenaline.
Oh my God.
GCS.
Yep.
I mean, what are some that really stick out to you?
You know, I mean, all of it. Like even the little stupid things we used to do at Guy's house, like way back when. Like Guy's house getting yelled at, we'd throw them in the toilet and they wouldn't flush.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were smoking in the basement again.
Yeah, and
No,
my dad said that he didn't smoke either, and we would find like tons of packs of cigarettes, empty packs of cigarettes up in the like tons. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why he just never threw them away. Like, we were gonna go through the trash or something. Like, we weren't tall enough to see them up there, but then the older we got, we would see them up there, like hundreds.
That actually goes back to when Guy first got here. We were sitting there with Liz, and we were kind of talking about how we were raised, and like, you know, very churched, and it's like just religion, really. But it was like, okay, we don't do these things, but behind closed doors, we do these things.
But everybody knew we did these things.
Yeah. So let me ask you, being a parent, do you approach parenting differently, do you think, from your parents?
Like, how many cigarettes did your daughter smoke a day? That's really what we want to know.
What's that?
That's how many cigarettes did your daughter smoke a day? That's what we really want.
Right now, only one. But
There you go.
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding.
But you know, do I do it differently? Do I? When she asks me what's in this, that's soda water. Obviously, I don't tell her it's vodka and soda water, but she knows, so I don't hide that. I do not smoke anymore. I mean, a cigar occasionally, but I do not smoke anymore, which I'm super happy about. Say hi.
Did you quit for that reason from when you became a parent? Did you quit for that reason when you became a parent?
That was a big part of it, by all means. You know, I remember when my dad quit smoking, it was because my sister, when she was 4 years old, I don't remember this, but this is what they told me. My sister was like 4.5 or 5 years old, and she said, "Daddy, I don't want you to die. Please stop smoking." So he stopped smoking at that moment. And my wife was bitching at me, so why not?
Yeah. I did the same thing with my dad with chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
And then when I hit like 27, I started chewing pouches. Like, I gilded him, and then I ended up.
I mean, I might have something in my upper lip right now, but
Yeah.
gosh, it's one of those Zen thing, whatever. But you know, so as far as other stuff, you know, I mean, GCS and all that, man. I mean, Dan, that's where we met. Or we might have met a little bit before that. But
I'm not sure.
I think you guys met each other at Eric's, because I was just going to say that you talked your parents into letting you go to GCS because we were all going there.
Because we met. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We were doing something, and then you met Dan, and Dan made you go, and then I was like, sure, I'll go.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Now, don't blame this all on me.
It's all your fault.
Who went there first?
I was there the first year they opened.
Oh, wow. You went to Calvary before that?
No. I went to Roosevelt.
Okay.
And then
He went to Calvary to skate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
for
drew.
sure. For sure.
That was it.
For sure.
But no,
But yeah, I went in 98. It was my 8th grade year. And then you might have come the second year.
Wow, 98, 8th grade. I went. I can't.
And then you might have been.
I only went 1 year. It was my 9th grade year.
I went.
What year did you graduate? 02?
Yeah.
Okay.
02?
So that
You
was,
graduated in 02?
Yeah.
How old are you?
The same age as you. 37.
I'm 38.
I'm 38.
Oh, wow. See, that's the problem. Never graduated, so I wasn't sure one year. That threw me all off.
Guy Eilenberger did it.
That's the GED
we were in the
stands
same
for.
grade in 9th grade. What'd you do with yourself?
Yeah, so you guys must have both come the same year to the school. Started the same year.
Yeah, we did, because I forget what it was. I started hanging out with him again. I think it was a soccer-related thing. Or, I don't know how.
Yeah.
We started hanging out again, and then he's like, hey, I'm going to this school. I was like, all right, I'll go.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, that was fun times, man. Remember the limo Ponderosa dinner?
Was that for a dance, or did we just?
I think we just got a limo.
That was my
Ponderosa.
neighbor that had the limo, and
Yeah.
we did that several times. You remember that?
I didn't do it.
Yeah, we did that several times. We had the limo for the social.
Man, I thought you were there.
Nope,
I was
because
there.
I'm pretty sure I was dating Bethany at that time. It was probably one of the times when I had Bethany.
And then
So then I wasn't allowed to do anything, and you guys were
we
out
can
doing
edit that out.
Oh, hopefully Bethany doesn't
You
see
know
this.
what?
He doesn't.
Yes, you do.
I don't. No, listen. You watch the name change video. I don't care anymore. I really don't. I'm truly living that.
Oh my god. Oh,
GCS was great. Do y'all remember what we used to call Eric's attic?
oh shit.
The Den of Iniquity. Speaking of this and this,
Right?
the Den of Iniquity.
Remember when you got in trouble for stealing the street signs in front of Mercer's house?
Took them all off 18th Street up by Newburgh. There was all these
Road
like
closed.
roadworks, road closed signs. All tipsy, came down and put them all on Eric's porch, all in front of the house. We used to steal.
Just sat them on the
Oh,
porch?
yeah, and like they weren't gonna know it was me. I remember Thad Stump when he came there. You remember Thad, right? Or was he gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to get a car, and his dad told him he had to get a job and get the money for himself. So he brought one of those like flat top griddles and plugged it in the bathroom and was making breakfast
I
sandwiches.
have video of that.
Nah,
I do.
That's
in GCS.
that's crazy.
A few years back, I converted all of my old VHS C tapes to digital. That was a crazy trip down memory lane. But I put together like a whole montage, like a 5 to 8 minute thing, and then I put Bruce Springsteen. I think it's Bruce Springsteen. No, it's not Bruce Springsteen. Who did Boys of Summer?
Is it Bob Seger? Or
Hold on, I'm on the Google.
So while you're doing that, what's the guy's name on the Rogan podcast that he's always like, oh, look that
Jamie.
up? Jamie.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Jesse, pull that up. Jesse.
Don Henley.
Don Henley,
I
yeah.
said Bob Seger.
So I found a live track of that on YouTube, and I ripped the audio and I put it with Boys of Summer. Most of the time, YouTube just says, hey, there's a copyright claim. You can't like monetize this, which I don't monetize anything anyway because I'm not at that level. Yet. So, but they just completely took the video down. I'm really pissed about that because I was so proud of that. It was just, I don't know. I'll figure out a way to just send it to you.
It was just because of the audio, because of the
because of the
song.
audio.
You just
Yeah.
add your own.
The first cigar we started with, I don't like to relight cigars, but
Oh yeah, Romeo.
yeah, Guy gave this to me
Yes, sir.
a few years back, this Cuban that Tony smoked half of.
Oh.
So,
Is that the first one you smoked?
no, I've had Cubans before.
No. I mean the first one you smoked today.
Today,
Like
yeah. Yeah,
That Tony had.
yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
So, yeah.
That's really crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was not expecting. That's really crazy. Actually,
That's
put it out so we could save it for again.
Yeah, say that again next time.
that is Tony's sitting with us right now.
Oh, right now. Yeah. Have you seen How High?
I was gonna say that one.
I love it. Here, give me a hit of that. No.
That'd be funny if he had a vape or something to blow the smoke out.
Hold on, get your camera and bring it up
Careful,
here.
because he's going to edit this
Here.
when you put your lips up to that.
Here, come up to the... Wait, hold on. I'm going to get this.
I don't know how to do it. Is this? Am I good?
Is that good?
That's perfect.
Oh, hold on.
I got a couple nice pictures of you there.
Okay. Okay, now just hold that pose. I'm going to put something else in place of the cigar.
Not that kind of podcast, man.
Dude, this is the ADHDan podcast. Anything goes. Where it goes, it goes.
ADHDan, that's great.
But I need to be careful I don't cross that cancel culture line. I want to like get close to it, but not.
I thought he purposely was just still
he's like,
oh, this is
dude,
where I cut.
Jesse just canceled us.
There it is.
We thought you canceled us. Yeah, he's done. That's crazy, man. I haven't talked to him forever. I was not expecting that. Do you remember, Jesse?
I'm still here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Nice.
I don't know what just happened. There was like.
We were talking about cancel culture, and you
Yeah, and then you canceled us.
canceled us.
Oh.
Fitting.
We do you remember Mrs. Weideman's class, Paco Sanchez? Do you remember? You got a lot of nerve.
You got a lot of nerve. That's nothing. You should see my dad's.
Oh my god. Do you remember? Go ahead, my bad.
Go ahead. No. So they let us pick our names in Spanish class, and I was Paco.
That's right. Yes.
That is.
I think that's where Paco Sanchez originated from. Do you remember the story I wrote? Paco Sanchez. It was
I vaguely remember.
It was like Paco Sanchez and it was. So, I thought I was being so like coded and so descriptive, and it was basically about.
She was like, nope.
Yeah, Paco Sanchez in the Magic Carpet Ride or something, and he would bring his friend, and I think his friend's name was literally like Bong, and he would hang out with his friend, and then he'd take a
Magic Carpet Towley?
It was Paco and Bong.
Paco and Bong,
Paco
yeah.
and Bong.
Like she's not gonna know what that is. Like I remember it came back, and she gave me like a decent grade for creativity, and then was like, "But you're gonna write it again, and I'm gonna tell everybody about this." She's a saint. The stuff she put up with.
Oh my god, dude.
I want to go back to. I actually was thinking about getting my kids enrolled in that school. I want to go back.
Is it still a thing?
We're about to find out what kind of thing it is.
Okay, so
KD's not there anymore.
No.
correct. Which I reached out to him to try to be on today too.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
So I mean, there's still a chance if a notification pops up, we'll have to add him to this.
I love Mr. Delap.
So yeah, he left there, and then Mike Greenwood's dad took
Mike
over.
Greenwood's dad.
Yeah, Dave.
He didn't have anything to do with the school back in the day, did he?
I don't think so, but he went after Delap left.
Really?
He took.
I
yeah,
thought Van Waterman did, Mr. Mrs. Waterman's husband.
that was him, and yeah, he did, and then Dave Greenwood went and started teaching
Okay.
there. So we wanted to enroll Meredith there. So we took her for a walkthrough, sat down with
Was
Mrs.
this when you were still living in
Weideman.
Altoona?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was,
Okay.
I think, Meredith's kindergarten year,
Okay.
maybe first grade.
You got like 7 kids, right?
He's 7, 18, somewhere.
He claims 4.
Yeah, I
He
claim
claims
4. So we take
close
her
to
in, and they're like, "Oh, which church do you go to, or which church are you?"
I think I remember this. Affiliated with.
Not even affiliate, a member of. I was like, I don't really. I like to be able to, intermingle with just the whole church as a community. They were like, well, we'll have to do something about that because to go here, you have to be a member of a church.
What?
And right away, I'm just like, nope, not having it.
That's disheartening.
Now, that was back in like 2009 or so. So I don't know.
The
what it's
reason
like
I
at
think
this
that's
point.
disheartening is because it's just, what about a child whose parents aren't even necessarily involved in the church like that, or even Christians or
Right.
religious? You still want to give that child an opportunity to be in that type of environment.
And as much as I disagree with a lot of the things that I was taught there, like basically religion-wise. I still credit a lot of my beliefs today on having experienced
For sure.
that.
Sure.
Absolutely. I mean, it all comes back to the way you were raised. And do we believe everything about that? You know, like, whatever it may be. But it made me a better person.
Yeah, for
being
sure.
raised in a very strict Christian household.
For sure.
I think it made me a better person. I'm not out killing people yet or
Right.
anything like that, but you know what I mean. So I mean, to an extent, I get it, but at the same time, it was
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
I would kind of put a bad taste in my mouth too.
Yeah, and I really liked it for what it was when we went there. It was just like, you know, it's kind of like, I hate to use the word safe place, but it was. It was just
right,
like, you know,
yeah.
we're not judging you for whatever religion you are. Just,
Do you guys,
Yeah.
do you guys remember the time the fire alarm went off? Or we thought the fire alarm went off
I feel like I'm remembering something about this.
at GCS. It was us three, and I think Mike Greenwood maybe. But we were like sitting there, like looking at the fire alarm and everything, and then the school bell went off.
Oh yeah. We were acting like we were gonna pull it. Yeah.
Running. We like hid in the room that wasn't even a classroom.
Oh man.
Oh God!
yeah.
The room that wasn't even a classroom. Remember when we snuck down to the barber, the Altoona Beauty School, went down through the basement because all there was like a little partition that divided it.
And we
you
talked to them,
You convinced
passed
them we were in
notes.
college. Yeah, but we went and got a haircut. You remember that? You and I. You convinced them that we were in college because they were like, we just popped out into like the back of this person's like station. You were
I
like,
remember that.
like, oh, I had an appointment, but and then we got our haircut. The stuff we used to do there. Chris Mountain used to go down to remember the basketball hoop was on the side of the building, and we would shoot basketballs out, and Chris Mountain would throw them back up to us into the bathroom window. Some of the stuff we did there. Mrs. Wadham was a saint, and Kevin DeLapp is.
These are
amazing.
actually coated in wax.
I saw that. So you have to light them.
Well, I do that to like waterproof them.
Okay.
So if you want one that's not,
When you go camping,
yeah, which I always have these big dreams. I would love to, but Liz isn't like a big camper, which I don't discredit her for. We have our different likes and dislikes,
I
but
hate camp. My daughter loves it. I want to do it. My daughter wants to get a van and turn it into like a, like they do. You see them on Pinterest all the time.
my
like the
cousin
hardwood.
just did that.
Really?
Well, he
Wait,
bought an
How old's
RV
your
and fixed it
daughter
up.
now?
She's 16.
Jesus.
She's gonna be. My son just turned 18 yesterday.
Yeah,
man.
we both have seniors.
I mean, you guys might be like 1 year older than me,
Right.
but you're way older than me.
Right.
Oh,
I just want to throw that out there.
internally, I'm like
Yeah,
105.
for sure. Yeah, my son's a whole adult, man.
And
Wow.
I'll say this. I think, I don't know, Jesse, you might be able to relate, but it's still kind of early, like into parenthood, but guys kind of in the same boat. It seemed like when we were in high school in those years, a day lasted 1,000 years.
For
And it was just
sure.
like, man, you just soak it up. And as soon as I had my first kid, 2004, it's like 2021 now.
Sure.
Like, where did all of that go? And I think for me, mentally, it's you, before you have kids, you're focusing on yourself. Like, that's it. But
There's
then,
nothing more. There's
Yeah.
nothing more important in your life.
right. And
you
then
have a
you have a kid and you just redirect all of that, and your focus is completely on the kid. So you don't realize that you're getting old.
And it happens
crazy,
so
man.
quick. Like my son, and I think this is a good thing with him. I was talking to him last night. I don't want to say he's not scared about being 18, but he's taking it really serious. And it's a good thing because I think he feels like when he turns 18, his plans start. He wants to do the things that he's been thinking about doing, his whole life. But I feel like, as long as you don't have kids, you can be a kid for as long as you want, But
Absolutely.
I guess it is good in a way because he's taking it serious and he doesn't want to be a kid anymore, or he realizes that he's not a kid. And I don't know. I kind of went off the rails with that, but I just Man, I feel like if anything in life, the one thing that I was born to be, I feel like I was born to be a father. I love being a father, man. And I don't think I realized that till later in life, but I really enjoy it, man. Because kids are all your legacy. That's really all you have.
That's
That's
it.
it.
What else are you gonna give?
Right. Because even if you have money and all that, like, yeah, I mean, it's good
It
to.
don't matter.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Because your
Money
kids
doesn't
aren't
buy.
going to remember. They're going to remember the things about you. If you just leave money, you're
That.
just some guy on paper that left money. But to instill things in your kids is a legacy.
But it's such a nerve-wracking thing at the same time, because it's like there's just that constant pressure of am
We
I
actually had it. We were having a tea party, and I came in here.
oh I just feel like you have this constant pressure of am I fucking these kids up?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, everyone that we know, they're always saying you guys are such great parents and we see how well behaved your kids are, and then we'll see then they're kind of a little bit different at home, and you just don't know. There's no handbook
Right.
for parenting. You
Right.
just learn it. I think the best advice that I can give is don't listen to other people's advice.
sure.
Like you parent how you need to parent. You know your kid better than anyone.
For sure.
Exactly.
For
I
sure.
I agree with that 100%, Dan.
My thing I struggle with is with my kids. I feel like I was brought up. My mom and dad divorced when I was like 12 or something, but my dad was always around. And even like Christmas, birthdays, they were always there in the same room. They got along. There was no fighting. There was no arguing. And people say not to
I
get up.
love. I guy just to take on that.
Yeah.
I loved when he would sit on the couch with his guitar and close his eyes and just jam out for like it was like a half an hour guitar session. We would all just sit there and listen to him play, and he would just go.
For sure. I remember when I actually went to live with my dad, which I say this to people a lot, like my dad even said it to me. He said, I feel like we don't really know each other, because when my dad even lived in the house, all I really knew him was Greg, the guy that played the guitar. And then when I moved in with him, we really got to know each other really well, and it was a good thing. But back to like my mom and dad weren't together. I do not like when people say that you should stay together for the kids. I mean, if you can stay together, I think that's great. But if it comes to a point where like you're absolutely miserable, not just miserable with each other, but the environment's miserable, the kids are going to pick up on that. So I don't think that you need to stay together for kids, but a two-parent household obviously does better than a single-parent household. But with my kids, I felt like I was always in a two-parent household. And because I always had my dad there, and with my kids I do the same thing. And I had a great upbringing with my parents, but like sometimes how you were talking about, we were just talking about earlier, like you do things, but you don't say you do them. Like what we were talking about with Liz earlier, like you might say smoking's bad, and then you hide it from your kids. I feel like I have a lot of faults, but any fault that I struggle with that I have with my kids is being too real with them. Like there's things that happen in my life that I'm really upfront with my kids about, like my history, getting in trouble, whatever. Like I'm real open.
Are you saying that is you think it's a bad thing?
I don't know. I wonder, is it a bad thing being that open with my kids? I mean,
I don't think so, because
even like my mouth, like even so cussing, like I
Right.
cuss, but I just don't want. I know when I got older, I heard somebody cuss for the first time, I thought they were a horrible person.
Yes, but I think that's a very church thing, and I always tell my kids, like, swearing is one thing. Now, if it's like a sexual
Right.
curse, that's different, but
I agree.
you can sit there and say fuck, and like it's your heart and your intent behind it. Like,
Right.
It's another adjective.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
It depends. It depends on the conversation. 100%.
Right. Like Dan said, if you use it in a sexual, like I would never do that around. My dad was such a gentleman too. Like I never heard him say anything derogatory about any woman ever, and I definitely do that with my kids too, because you can teach your kids you can teach your sons especially to be a gentleman just through your actions, opening doors for ladies. You see an attractive woman and not saying something derogatory about her. You don't even necessarily have to preach to your kids about it. Just
right, it's just example.
right.
They do what they see.
Man, he was always so tall and so skinny. Oh, I didn't even recognize you.
That was at my high school graduation party. I think
At your house?
Yeah, was that like a month before his birthday? Was that June or July? Or maybe it was a month after his birthday, I think.
It was exactly a month after his birthday.
Mm-hmm. Dude, there are so many. I'm like, I really want to see like a therapist or psychiatrist or something about this, but I'm a big numbers person. I constantly count. I try to find number patterns.
You mean see a therapist about it being a problem, or see a therapist?
Well, just to kind of have some insight with it, because Tony died exactly 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days before his 21st birthday. 2 + 1 is 3. It's like, I don't know. And again, I read into it a lot. I'm a huge conspiracy theorist, like, but I think there is some truth to some of that. We might not ever know, but
that's the other thing. For living in a place like Altoona, where people
There's
think
way too many people dead.
Way too many people think Altoona is such a small place. It's really not. There's way too. We could sit here between the three of us, and not just people we've heard of, and people we knew, we hung out with. We could come up with 50 people.
Well, and I think one thing that's unique with the people that we know that have passed, there were like some questions behind it, like Nick, Barry,
yeah.
They still don't. Yeah. To my knowledge, they still don't know what happened there.
Best case scenario, maybe he's now a super secret spy.
I swear to God, I've thought that.
That's so crazy.
Like, he's off the grid. Like, he's like, I'm out. I'm doing stuff. He's Jason Bourne.
Barry was great.
Okay, so did you play soccer, Jesse, with us?
Yeah.
Did you play the game where we were playing, I think, the McDonald's team, maybe Bellefonte, like red and yellow, and they were kicking our ass so bad that we just stopped and played leapfrog in the middle of the game?
I remember that.
Holy crap, yeah.
We used to get killed everything. Basketball, we used to get killed.
I don't understand it, because I feel like we had some good players.
We did. Yeah.
Well, so to tie Barry back into this, I owe Barry my 18 years and counting of marriage to Barry, because I made a bet with Liz before we were dating. I said, if I score a goal in this soccer game, you have to give me a kiss.
I remember this.
And I think you said that with Ashley, that if you scored a goal, she would give you a kiss. I
remember this.
So Barry had a corner kick, and I had the most beautiful header, bam, smack into the net. Yeah. And I was just like, we lost by probably 25, but I didn't care.
That's so great. That's so awesome. Great.
Yeah, so thanks, Barry.
That's so great. I remember basketball. Man, Mr. DeLapp, he was such a good coach too. And we had Chad Grum, Thad Stump.
I didn't play basketball.
No, you didn't either.
No, he tried to bribe me to play. Yeah. He offered to let me borrow his Sebring to take Liz on a date if I played basketball, and I was like, no. And Liz was like, what? You need to play.
But I remember, I don't know that we won a single game, or maybe we did, and this game was just really important. But it was down to the last couple seconds. We were down by a couple points, like movie type scenario, and it was our ball. We had like 5 seconds left. And you remember Thad? He's like a Chris Farley character right off of Saturday Night Live. Yeah, for sure. I just ran into him a couple months ago.
I tried to get him on here, but he's busy today.
He's great. I just ran into him. He's great. It's the same person.
These people were busy back in Pennsylvania. What the hell's going on out here in Nevada? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with you guys.
Right? So there's like 5 seconds left. Thad has the ball. We're at the opposite end of the court, and you pass the ball and you run up the court. 5 seconds is long enough to give it to the point guard, come up the court.
I think I remember this.
And Mr. DeLapp tells Thad, no, he like does everything but grab him by the face and tells him, no matter what, just don't throw the ball down the other side of the court. You could do whatever. You could go to him. You could call a timeout. We still had timeouts. He said, just don't throw the ball down the court. 5 seconds left. He gets the ball. Now, the clock doesn't start until you throw the ball in. So he gets the ball, not even a second after having it, and just Hail Marys it down the court, hits somebody, goes out of bounds, we lose the game. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That was Thad to a T.
You had one job.
One job. Man, I don't remember half of these stories till we started talking about it, and then
Guy busts into the room and he's like, "What are you doing? That's my wife."
I think I tried to erase that from my memory, but it brings it back.
I really like.
Do you still have that?
There are a few things. No, Tony destroyed it.
Oh,
I had it on a VHS.
Probably a good idea. Thank you, Tony.
And
I do remember.
It had some other stuff on there that Tony really did not want anyone to see, and he wrestled me to take that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I remember. Go ahead, my bad.
No. So the whole, I don't know what we want to call it, Fright Night guy. What night that was where you were in the basement with ketchup all over you?
Right.
Dan, I don't think, were you there for that?
No, I don't remember that.
They did the same kind of thing, like turned the lights off and scared the crap out of everybody. And
said that I got like
downstairs in the kitchen screaming.
Yeah.
And we're hiding behind, and we hear like whatever else is going on. So we're looking for Guy, and Guy's nowhere to be found. Next thing you know, we find him at the bottom of the stairs in the basement at Mercer's house, covered in blood. I walked down the stairs, I'm like, and we were scared. My sister they had this whole thing planned out. It was good. Like, we were all scared shitless. And I go down there, and I'm like, it smells like ketchup.
Yeah, he knew right away.
You guys!
He knew right away.
Future nurse right there.
He knew right away.
He was like, it smells like ketchup. And he starts laughing immediately.
I was trying to be like all unconscious.
With ketchup blood all over him. But it was a good 2-hour experience with you guys scaring the crap out of us.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely need to have a GCS reunion. That would be great.
Have you guys talked to the mountains?
I still talk with Chris a good bit.
I saw Chris not long ago.
He's working at the VA.
Yeah. I
What's he
saw
doing there? Is he a nurse too, or?
I don't think so.
Chris is great. He's always been such an old man.
Yeah.
He's just a grumpy
He's always
old
been
man.
old.
And I don't think I couldn't appreciate that in high school. I don't know what it was. I just had a disconnect with him. But then it was like, as soon as we graduated, we were best friends when I still lived in Altoona.
I feel the same way. I think I always thought that he was like, didn't like me, or was like, because he was just kind of such a grump. Do you remember, my mom loves this story. It was show and tell. First of all, we're in like 8th, 9th grade. Who has show and tell? But the Locker sisters, one of them brought their hamster to the, and we're sitting in Mr. Hildebrand's class in a big circle, and Chris is holding the hamster as they're passing around, and I was just like
the hamster
catch sign, and Chris throws it across, and I go to catch it, and it slips out my hands like a bar of soap, lands on the floor, and is not moving. I'm like, clear the room. Get down and start giving the hamster CPR. The Locker sisters, if they never wanted to talk to me again, I could not blame them.
Who was our science teacher? What was that guy's name?
Zimmerman.
Oh,
I feel so bad for him too. He was such a nice guy.
He's somebody I would love to connect with now.
I've thought that too. I thought I saw him driving. I would love to see what's
I'd like
up
to
with him.
talk like space time and the stuff I should have been learning back then.
He's such a cool dude.
We should have paid attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for sure.
Remember the time I brought my tarantula in its whole terrarium?
I think I do remember that.
That thing
I brought the whole cage and everything. The spider, it was something for science day or whatever. So I brought it in, and we go over to Weidman's class, and they're like, "Oh, Zimmerman's got your tarantula out." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "That's a death spider. You don't touch that thing." Like, nobody in my family who has ever owned a spider has done. We go back over there, and he's like got it on his hand and everything. And I'm like,
"Oh my god,
that's a death spider, bro."
That guy was so cool,
right? Like,
he's a genius.
He was a cool dude.
I really liked even Mrs. Wiedemann as much shit as I gave her back then. She was a great teacher. Mr. DeLapp was he was a really big
he was a bomb, dude.
He was. I
credit him so much for the character that I have today.
Yeah, I agree. He always was the same person. He was always the same person, no matter what.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. This was super cool just to see you guys.
Yeah, man.
I'm not a podcast guy, but I love seeing you. It's so nice. I hope you guys can come out and visit me some point in time. But I'm coming back. I'm coming back soon.
I was going to say that might be more realistic.
Right.
I mean,
I'm near Vegas. Not near Vegas, but if you guys ever go to Vegas, let me know. It's an hour flight for me to go to Vegas. So, and it's super cheap flight. But yeah, let me know. I will definitely get a hold of you guys.
When are you coming back?
Hopefully in the spring. Do something. Guy, you got your phone on you?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to see if this works. If it's still your same number.
Doubt it. Let's see if somebody else picks up, though.
No. Did you get a text from me?
Somebody did.
So I just flipped somebody else off.
I'll give it to Dan and have him.
Yeah, we can't say it over on the thing.
Right.
But oh well, somebody else just got a middle finger.
That's awesome. If you get a response back, send me the screenshot of the response.
We'll do.
We'll definitely add that. And we'll put their number so everyone else can
definitely.
That'll go viral.
Right?
There it is. That's
the niche.
Thanks.
Well, thank you guys. I love you.
Good seeing you. Love you, brother.
Love you guys.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again, Dan, for calling me this morning or texting me this morning.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited to connect.
Nice seeing you guys.
You too, man.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Hey, have a great day.
It's awesome. Love you guys.
Love you, bro.
Bye.
I love this kind of music. I actually love Nina Simone and all kinds of like R&B. I think my dad got me into that.
Your dad, I feel like I never truly appreciated him when I was close, like in Altoona.
Mm-hmm.
And now I look back and it's just like, man. I mean, he's just an amazing guy. I just wish I would have been around him more. I'm talking about him like he's dead now.
No, I know what you mean.
Like, I wish I would have
been
not around him more
right.
and just learned from him.
Right. He's a real knowledgeable guy. The older he gets, the more well, he's probably always had the insight, but I feel like the older he gets, he definitely has got a lot calmer.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell him anything. He can sit through, go through anything with you. I think that goes to say, even when I was in Florida, I don't think I appreciated either of my parents enough. And when I got back, it's something I really hold close as my family.
So that actually kind of takes me to my next thing. This is kind of the last thing, and I feel like it's maybe slightly questionable.
ADHDan podcast.
I feel like I might cut part of this out. We'll see.
Right.
So this I have kept like on every desk since your dad gave it to me, and I haven't been to the mausoleum for a few years, but one of the first times I went there, like after he passed, I was just sitting there like just sobbing on the ground. It was empty in there. I didn't even turn lights on, and I saw there was a chip coming out of the stone on his thing. So I took the chip.
No kidding. That's crazy. That's awesome. I wouldn't cut it out. I'd leave that part there. I was wondering what that was. I'd have snagged it too. That's crazy. I'm surprised you haven't made a necklace or something out of that.
I don't know. I actually misplaced it for a while.
Oh, that'd have been horrible.
I'm just like, I'm a hoarder.
Yeah.
Because of things like this.
Right.
But maybe that's how I justify my hoarding. But
I do the same thing.
they're just memories.
That's crazy. I'll have to look for that chip now. Did you notice it before? Did you go back, or was that the last time you were there?
No, I've been there since.
Have you noticed the chip?
I feel like that's the last thing I think about.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
It's hard for me to go there.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like death there. I don't really. I feel guilty when I don't go there, but then when I do, I always remember what I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's go to something else.
Yeah, I always like going to the, I like going back to 19th Street House and going around. I drive by that block all the time. In Eric's house, I'll drive down through the alley.
I'll do that.
That's the kind of, yeah, that would be cool.
Do you remember when, maybe we should do a car cast where we drive around some of those old spots and just
That
record.
would be awesome. That would be really cool.
Do you remember when we were at the mall with Eric, maybe Richie, Tony, and then you and me, and maybe there was somebody else because there wasn't enough room for everyone to sit in
the car,
in his Cavalier, that red Cavalier.
Red Cavalier.
So Tony and I rode in the trunk, and we knew exactly where we were every single turn. That's Eric would be like, "Where are we at now?" We're like, "Oh, on Logan Valley Boulevard in front of this building," and he's like, "What? How do you know what?"
Crazy.
And it was just like we could tell by the turns.
I do remember that. That's crazy. That's wild. I feel like I remember this frame too. This looks like a my dad kind of frame. My mom was so mad at him for wearing that necklace. It was a scorpion necklace.
I remember that.
That's nuts. I found a tape I have at the house, a Bodami tape. I haven't tried to play it because I don't want to ruin it or anything. I don't even know if I have a cassette player. I want my girlfriend to hear him singing and stuff. That would be really neat. That would be really neat.
Yeah, before you go, I'm going to have to show you the Boys of Summer video.
That's cool.
Because it's still on YouTube, but it's just only I can see it.
Oh, okay.
It just has a lot of... You're actually in it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to Hershey for convention. Because when you were with Aaron.
Yeah, I remember that convention.
Yeah.
I didn't go to that one, you mean?
Yeah, you were in... I have video of you...
There at the convention?
Yeah,
okay.
like you were in the van, and I think you were in the passenger seat beside Ronnie, and Aaron was sitting in the back, and I don't even remember what... I don't know. We'll see.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. That video you sent me a while back of Tony and he's speaking like Scarface, is that in that van?
There too.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah.
Is that the same van?
Probably.
Because it looks like that van. That's wild, man.
I mean, kind of going back to what you said, how kind of dwelling in that feels like death. I think I experienced that for a really long time with, I think, just growing older, if that makes sense, because I would dwell so much in the good old days, high school.
Right.
And then I think I realized at one point, like when I first got married or a couple years into marriage, I would look back at high school and be like, man, I miss that. And I'd dwell and kind of be sad. And then 5 or 10 more years down the road, it wasn't high school anymore. It was that time. Like, why wasn't I living in that moment? Yep. So I think there's such a balance in life to really appreciate your experiences.
For sure. That's what I think I mean about social media, and not knocking anybody who has it, because my girlfriend has it, my kids. I don't have a problem. Just for me personally, I feel like social media, I can't live in the moment enough with it. Like, if I have it, I can't live in the moment enough with it. I'm always wanting to take a picture somewhere. But then there's a downside to it, because then things like this, you don't capture these moments. You don't have pictures of that. And that's one of my biggest regrets of not having it, is I don't take the time just to take pictures and have them. And that's a big reason, I think, honestly, why I haven't seen a lot of the people that I see, because I say this all the time. I hate the used to be ass people who always talk to be. I want to talk about what's going on now, about what we could do tomorrow in the next couple of years and what's to come. I can't stand always people who just always want to live in the past, and who are, it reminds me of the old guy who's the college or the high school quarterback who, you know what I mean, just loves that life. And there's nothing wrong with reminiscing. I love this kind of stuff, but I also want to talk about what we could do in the future and what we.
Right.
So if I dwell too much on that, then like you said, you don't live in the moment.
Right. Well, and that's why I got this.
I didn't even know. I like that a lot.
And the guy was like, "You sure you just want it?" I was like, "You can freehand that." He's like, "No, I'm going to do a stencil." I said, "Well, I mean, as long as it looks like type font." I wanted it right there because I feel like I'm always holding my phone there, so it's like
that's
just a reminder.
I like that.
Okay,
that's tough.
I'm not saying I've mastered that nowhere near, but
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
What conspiracies do you subscribe to?
Oh man, there's what's I used to have a bumper sticker on my truck my dad took off one night. There's poison in the water because of the fluoride, and it was half a joke. I don't know what I really do. I just know that I don't know, man. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about aliens.
Okay. Just my whole take on conspiracies. I think I'm kind of understanding why I am the conspiracist that I am. I think that we really should, as a culture, question things and not just be spoon-fed. We need to go out and do research on our own and question things. Don't just take like what the government tells you as gospel, you know? Right. I even take that to the level of religion and church and say, you know, I feel like God is teaching me a different way than what you're trying to tell me.
For sure.
But yeah, that's kind of why I like conspiracies, because you're just questioning what people believe is reality.
Yeah, I agree. Not to get off subject with it, but I feel the same way about politics, religion, about anything. I think that you shouldn't subscribe to one channel or one view. Even like I used to say all the time, I could never stand Bill Maher. I just couldn't stand him. And then I found myself really being drawn to him because he's one of the very few people on the left who admits when he's wrong, brings in other people's point of view. And so I started to really watch even stuff I don't like. I'll listen to it, because you have to. If you listen to one person all the time, then you're being a hypocrite and you're doing the things that you don't like. You know, like you're saying, you know, if you're a person who's really far right and you say fake news and all this, and then you don't go and listen to the same stuff yourself, and you're only watching one outlet, then you're doing the same thing.
Right.
So with conspiracy, I think it's the same, because aliens, that's the first thing that I think I believe in UFOs, unidentified flying objects. I don't know if I believe in aliens. I'm not saying I don't, but there's record on account now, right? Saying I'm no conspiracy professional or anything, but it's something they put out.
Right.
So, I mean, where do you stand on that?
I don't know. I think before it was coming out, it was, oh yeah, there has to be something out there. And now that they're coming out with it, it's like, okay, I question the motives. Why now? Why are you trying to kind of hype this up
going with this
now? Like, is it just a distraction? I mean, maybe they're two completely separate things. Maybe the government doesn't know anything and they don't exist, but they're just trying to distract.
Right. For the next thing that's going to come.
But that's with conspiracies. I think you have to be healthy with it, because you can keep going
very
and going
easy
and
to
going.
Do, very easy. The thing that, and I'm probably going to get some of this wrong, but that's where I heard a what do you call it? A theory that with UFOs, it's going to be the next big thing. Because think about one way to get the whole world to unite, like, you know, about the NWO, the New World Order, and all that, to get everybody on the same page, is something like an alien. If you were to get something from off of Earth, because Earth is everybody that we know it, and you were to get something else to come down, the only way to get everybody to unite is something like aliens, you know?
I figured it out. I really think I figured it out.
Here we go.
So anytime our government, I don't know about other governments, but anytime they want to push their agenda that the general public doesn't want to subscribe to, they'll do whatever they have to do to push that agenda. I feel this is probably, it's getting questionable, but I think that
It's hard to not believe it
9/11,
with this music, though.
Yeah.
It's hard to not.
9/11 inside job. I really believe that because they were trying to push the Department of Homeland Security down our throats for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And it took that to push that.
Yeah.
So maybe they're doing a foreign attack.
Right.
So, okay, now you know that you need this. So maybe they're trying to say, oh, yeah, there are aliens.
Yeah, right.
We need to unite. We need to have one world government.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that because they say about having technology that is just now coming to the surface that the government's had forever.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You know, they say like the stuff with the levitating objects that can go from, you know, sea level to 4,000 some whatever. I mean, I'm not a scientist and I'm not a conspiracy professional, but
I'll put that down under your name.
Yeah.
Guy Strong, PhD.
Yep.
In something. PhD in GED.
Eilenberger did it. No, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like the right person telling you something can make sense. Like, did you ever hear, speaking of podcasts, did you ever hear Joe Rogan talk about I know I'm going to mess this all up, but how we come from apes who ate mushrooms. Did you ever hear his take on that?
No, but I think that's like kind of the logo, the Joe Rogan clips on YouTube, the ape.
Right. And he barely ever talks about, like, people make him out to see. I'll tell you what, Joe Rogan is crazy. Who isn't? But he also has a lot of things. I mean, he's a super intelligent guy. Like, I doubt I could even carry a conversation with the guy. He's super intelligent.
Yeah.
But it goes to my point, when you talk to somebody like that who's super crazy but who's super smart, you could walk away from something like that and be like, damn. Now I believe in God created man, but you know, definitely I'd be a liar to say you don't think about it. It's like Jordan Peterson with the lobster thing. Did you ever hear about that?
Huh.
I mean, you got to look into it. I thought you were a conspiracy professional.
No,
you got to look into some of this.
Some of the stuff I look into, it's different. I'll go into that.
Okay,
but.
yeah. You know about Jordan Peterson?
Huh?
Really? He's an interesting guy, man. Jordan Peterson is, yeah, you should definitely look. I think you'd dig it.
So the conspiracy that I've been into recently is simulation theory. So it's...
Oh, you're into deep, deep conspiracies.
And actually, there are like a lot of scientists that think it's possible. So I think the best way it's described is if you look at video games from the 70 something, like when Pong first started, it was just like the two paddles. I mean, there's nothing to it. And if you look at how fast we've progressed with video games, now you put on a headset and it's like you're there.
Yeah, right.
That is your reality. So what the theory is basically we are either in a simulation right now, this is all somebody's simulation, or we're getting to the point that we are going to start creating simulations like this. The third theory will be the world will end before we'll even ever know. But I think that we are in a simulation.
You do, personally?
I do. I believe in God. I believe that God is the creator.
Okay.
I think this is a simulation that he created. Man, I'm gonna get so much hate over this, but I really think it's true. Like, because if you take like a huge picture of, you know, space and its vastness, and then you go down to the smallest molecule that they can see, they look almost identical, and it's like everything's
crazy.
Everything's ones and zeros.
So a simulation. So if you're saying from believing God standpoint, a simulation like this is his simulation, like an evolving simulation, or from
could be. I feel like those are questions that I think we're asking the wrong questions. I feel like that's sounds a little strange, but yeah. I mean, because there are people who argue and say, "Oh, evolution didn't happen. The Big Bang didn't happen. God created it." Well, could God have created it through the Big Bang?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
well, there's a belief like that too, isn't there?
I think
Yeah.
if not,
If you can think of any belief, there's something that.
And would it make it less miraculous?
Right.
No.
Yeah, maybe
I think it's
you could argue that it's possibly more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the thing with, and I'm sure I'm messing this up again, but with Dr. Jordan Peterson's theory is that maybe, and even if it isn't his, this could be a theory, that the lobsters, it sounds crazy when you say it like that, but that we came from lobsters because I guess they're the most, they can free think for themselves or something like that. Sure, I'm messing all this up. But that if you think like that God created some type of something, even if you look at a Neanderthal person, like you can't argue that there was Neanderthals and that somebody evolved from a Neanderthal. I guess you could argue that.
You could argue that. You could say that dinosaurs never actually existed. God created an aged Earth with the fossils in it. Like
God created an age, part of the simulation thing?
No, just in general. You
God
could say
created an age. Oh, right.
So there were already bones down in the earth when he created it.
Wow.
Did you ever think about that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Wow. What would be the point of that, though?
That's what I said. That's what I'm thinking. Huh. But it's still something to kind of think about.
That's wild. How do you feel about? What do you think about when people say? So people saying that the Earth is a few billion years old. But then that couldn't be possible if you believe in, if you come from a Protestant background or something. But couldn't it still be? Couldn't you still believe that? Just at the time, like if God created the earth way back when and then waited a few billion years and then brought Adam and Eve along.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the Bible to know if that's how, maybe it says in there that doesn't happen. I don't know, man. We could get a lot of shade from delving deeper into this because...
And... Yeah, I mean,
we can edit everything out. We can edit anything out.
I'm trying to think of anything else that I had. No, but I mean, honestly, this is. I really want to start being more open about what I really believe because I feel like there are so many other people who believe that, but it's like, well, this is the way that we're taught, and this is the way we're supposed to be, and it's like, Liz and I maybe should cut this out. I don't think they'd ever watch it, but Liz and I had good friends that we met when we moved to Johnstown, very churched, Methodist, and one night they were talking about something and they said, "Oh, what's your belief?" It's like, I don't know. He's like, "What is it?" And I said, "I think that the view that we have on God, we say God is love, period. How could God create... Okay, so you have kids. You know how much you love those kids. That's only a glimpse of how much God loves you. Like we can't even comprehend God's love. And could you send one of your kids to hell for eternity?
Absolutely not.
And I told them that, and immediately he said, "So you think Hitler's in heaven?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I think we create our own heavens and hell on earth. I think by choices, I think some of it's internal by your choices and the path that you choose, but I think there's also external forces too that you just have to learn to, as an individual, get past those and learn yourself."
So wait, are you saying you believe that heaven and hell is on earth? And then when you die...
You're in heaven. But I don't know what heaven looks like. I don't subscribe to the whole mansions and yellow brick roads.
I'm not sure what I believe, because I know that the only thing I know that the idea of heaven and afterlife and all that, it's based solely on faith. Mm-hmm. And so I know that no one, no matter what you believe, no matter what somebody believes, nobody can tell you what happens when you die.
Right.
And the only thing that is certain is that we will die. And I think the older I get, I think that and if I'm being completely honest, I think besides something ever happened to my kids, the only thing I'm afraid of is death. And that probably makes me sound like a horrible Christian, but that's just the God honest truth. Because I think that I don't know. I just think I've done things that I don't know. I just wonder. I don't know. I just know, like, they say that you can ask forgiveness for anything, but if God knows your heart and some things that you should ask for forgiveness about, what if you're not really sorry about them? I don't know.
But what do you think about, like, God created you, and a lot of people argue against this too. Like, I kind of believe in free will, but I kind of believe like predestination,
like Calvinism.
Yeah, I think because if God is all knowing, then he knows full well when he creates you every step of your life. So would God create somebody that he knew was destined for hell, if you subscribe to hell as a place?
Right. But then I guess it could be argued, is that person really destined for hell? Because if you have free will, it was your choice to make the decisions you made.
That's true. But I still think God knows.
Yeah.
Regardless if you have free will or not, he knows.
Right. And that's the thing. Yeah. I guess that's the big struggle. Because I think that it's like it's just like the thing where they say when you ask for forgiveness, and if God really knows you, that's the thing I always come back to. What if you're not really sorry for the things that you ask forgiveness for? But one of the stipulations is that you have to ask forgiveness for them. And like you said, what if that's just into your DNA, or when you were created, that you don't really... Because some people are built different. So even to a nurse who's able to watch something that makes another guy throw up, that's the same way with violence. Some people can watch extreme violence and not feel that. And that doesn't make them an evil person, but that's something in their DNA Yeah. And so I just feel, I don't know. But I definitely do believe that there's definitely something above us. I believe that there's one creator. And I don't know. It's all, I don't know, man. And to dive back into the conspiracy theory thing, man, I just think my number one conspiracy thing is aliens. Because I wonder, like, in the Egyptian time, like, they have photos and hieroglyphics of all that, like, and what is an angel?
Do you think the aliens built the pyramids?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know enough about all that to do that, but I wonder about things like, I really wonder when people way back in the day thought about aliens, and is that angels? What is an alien? What is the, I don't know. And then where do all these different gods come from? Where did they, like the owl god and the faces and where did all that come from? Like, thousands and millions of people didn't, like, I can understand where Islam came from. I can understand that there was Muhammad, and there was, you know, he actually did all the things, and he wrote a book, and, you know, a lot of people say, you know, he was a Genghis Khan, he was a warlord, and so he wrote this book, and believe in it or not, whatever your beliefs are, there's something behind that. Where does all this other stuff come from? Yeah. You know, the hieroglyphics they have, and these people say that really happened. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Because you can't just discredit all that.
Right.
But if you believe what you believe in, you don't believe in that. But
Well, and another theory with aliens is, and I actually just heard this recently, so now we have kind of this Mars space race going on. Like, Elon Musk.
I was going to say something else, but yeah.
And some people are trying to make a point, and I think it's almost valid. They're saying that aliens are actually just, they were us at one point.
Advanced.
And they left, and we don't have any recollection that they left us here basically to destroy ourselves,
right.
whatever. Maybe they were the super rich of that time, and now they're just coming back once in a while to check on us, see what's up.
See, that's what else about do you know about and this is all over the place. So the ADHDan podcast, this goes perfectly into it, because I know some people are going to see this and be like, this guy is all over the place. And I don't claim to know anything that I know what I'm talking about.
Right, and that's it.
Yeah, but the whole gold thing, and once again, this is probably the thing I've said the most on this podcast, but I'm probably getting this all wrong. But the whole gold thing.
I don't think you said anything about gold this whole podcast.
No, I haven't. No, I'm saying what I say. The thing I've said this whole podcast is that I don't claim to know anything about anything.
Okay.
I have my GED. Guy Eilenberger did it. I have my PhD and my GED.
I should have put that on here.
But, so the whole gold thing, like, so going back to the Egyptians and even the pharaohs when they buried them in gold and all this, why gold? Why is gold the number one? So do you know? So you know how they offered it. The gold is what the gods wanted. How gold? What is his name? The gold standard. Everything revolves around gold. Do you know what that little machine that they put on Mars, the one that went out, that had to breathe in that type of oxygen, that had to sustain that
the like rover thing?
You know what it was made out of? Gold. I don't know. And there was a belief before that was even made that gold was what these aliens needed, or these gods needed, to produce fuel. Maybe I think they were calling it fuel, to produce fuel or whatever it was. They needed that was their oil, that was their sustainability, that was their everything.
Yeah. So I've thought about it a little differently, but I think it fits completely. Like, what is the value of gold? Why did we ever set that as a value?
Gold, right?
Because I mean, for me personally, if I didn't know I could sell a pile of gold for like $1 million, I don't know the value at all, but
right.
Let's say this was gold,
right?
This brick, I saw that laying there, and I saw like a camera laying there, I'd be like, oh hell, I'm taking the camera.
Or even a gemstone. Right. Even go way back in the day to when they first started making gold the currency. Like, why not a ruby? Why not gemstones?
It's not even the strongest material.
No. And I'm sure there's people who are out there listening right now, they're saying, oh, gold is this because of that. But really, like, dive deeper into that. Like, it's not the most rarest thing. It's not the most sustainable. It's not the hardest. It's not the most, I don't know.
At some point, fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Actually, I should look that up and see what's more rare.
Yeah.
Gold or fossil fuel at this point, because they're saying, I just heard the other day how many more years they think we have of fossil fuel. That's why there's this push for.
And what do we know? We just smoke cigars and drink Red Bull.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Yeah. So what's next for you? What do you?
I don't know, man. I think starting a career change. Been in construction my whole life. I don't know. I really don't know, man. I don't know. I know I'm excited about my kids growing up. My son just turned 18. My daughter's not far behind him. Just doing the family thing, man. I don't know. I've thought about maybe starting a business. I'd like to do something with my family. My son wants to get into realty, so I'd like to do something with that. And just living for the day, praying for tomorrow. I don't think I have really definite plans. I know we definitely got to do this more, though.
Yeah.
I've never been a big technology person, but I don't even know what I want to do. But I'd like seeing the podcast, and just this is really something, man. You really got a gift with all this. You got a real talent.
I thank you. I think it was just something that I always had a passion for, but I didn't realize my potential. And I don't claim to be great. I sometimes I battle with that because it's hard for me to take compliments.
Yeah.
Because I always look at it from, I could have done this differently this.
Right.
But I think I'm kind of, this whole health thing, I think kind of pushed me to a point that it's like, some of that stuff doesn't necessarily matter, you know, and it's kind of cool because if something's a little bit off, that's like my fingerprint on there. That's my mark.
For sure.
So I'm trying to focus more on storytelling.
That's cool.
But
that's cool. Didn't you used to have something like that? Story time with Dan or something?
Oh, I read a children's book.
I remember that.
K is for knife ball.
That was great. I thought that was your book. That was somebody. Didn't you say somebody wrote that book?
It's on Amazon.
That's crazy. That's so fun.
They have a bunch. There's one, My Mommy Drinks Too Much, and there's like a mom laying face down on the floor, and there's a kid standing there crying.
You should read those to a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah, I really don't know what's next. I just keep doing what I'm doing. Somebody asked me last night, they were like really interested in my career path and everything and how I got to where I am. And they said, well, what's your dream job? And I was like, I think this is it.
Right, yeah,
like,
for sure. That's a good question. Because I think I've more so learned to, I actually heard this guy. You ever heard of Mike Rowe, the guy that does Dirty Jobs?
Yeah.
He has this video that, I think my mom sent it to me. And it's about discouraging people from doing what they love. And at first I read the thing and I'm like, what is this about? But it's more telling people, like, people tell kids all the time, like, you could be anything, do what you love in life. Is that the best advice? Or is the best advice learning to love what you do? Like, because very few people get to do what you do and get blessed by being able. And I think that comes from sheer hard work, motivation, and not being able to be told no easily. But everybody can't do that. So with me, I think my whole life I tried to have my own business, tried to do my own things, and I failed at a lot. And I think a real successful business owner told me before that you have to fail at something, I think, like 3 times until it'll work. And so when I'm ready and I'm more mature and grown in that area, I'll do my own thing again. But I think in the meantime, I just need to learn to love what it is that I do. You know, even if it's working in a warehouse like I've been, because I've never really had a job my whole life. I worked for myself or, you know, did whatever, but learning to love what I do, that's important. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's what's next for me, just learning to love whatever it is that I'm doing.
Do you know what that process would look like?
I don't know yet. I got a lot of different things going on because during COVID, the company I was working for was shut down. I was doing warehouse work, and I had really learned to love doing that. Just because I always have loved grunt work. I just like working with my hands, and
I liked it because it gave me time to think.
Yeah, right. And honestly, podcasts, that's where I had a love for podcasts, was doing that. I was just unloading boxes all day. I was a freight handler, and I would just put my headphones in and just do that all day. And I loved it because I was able to think, I was able to listen to that, just zone out and do hard work. But I can't do that forever because I'm getting older.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something in the meantime. I'm going to learn to love that. And then I'm going to think about what I really want to do. Because to me, it never really mattered. I think I've always been able to adapt to my environment. So I think whatever my children want to do, if my son's looking like he wants to own his own business, or my brother wants to own his own thing, I'm going to learn to love that. And I'm going to do that. I just want to live for my family. I just want to, because without my family, I'm nothing. And that's my whole existence.
That's probably the best place to wrap this up.
That works for me.
I think
that works for me.
No, I thank you for coming here.
Yeah, man, this was
great.
Making
the drive out.
This was great. I'll do it again.
But yeah, that's about it. So if you watch this whole thing, please don't judge me. Love me.
That's a good send-off. Thanks for having me, man.
Just speaking truth.
Right. Don't kill us in the comment section. And these cigars are great.